WTF.Reydio.org and W5AC.TAMU.edu. Thank you guys for allowing us to hold this net. Funny that the annual Go Kid Challenge was put at the top of our list today, because what I want to know about, besides how you're doing in ham radio this week, any big things you did, here are your questions for today. Do you plan your ham radio activities for a month, for a year, for a week? Not at all. You just let it go however it happens. How do you decide, plan, schedule your ham radio activities? Do you do it for a year, for a month, or not at all? So, who's going to be first to answer the question? Please come now with your call sign phonetically followed by your name.
Hello, at 5, Lima X-Ray Sierra. Brandon, Plano.
Brandon, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Studley. Just sitting here on the back porch playing radio. So it's a beautiful day outside. Couldn't be more thrilled that I'm not out here shivering with a fire pit going, electric blanket, and all sorts of other heating devices. I'm just out here in a jacket playing radio. So it's a beautiful day for me here in Plano.
To that. So, really, I was doing this for new guys like you to see how various people plan, resources they use to plan, where they get their information from, etc., etc. Have you learned, or are you planning yet things in your ham radio calendar?
Yeah, I plan, to be honest with you, so I'm a member of the Louisville Club, and the next club meeting I go to in the colony, their next meeting, I'll join there as well. And I'd like to join the Denton Club, but to be honest with you, I've never gone to any of the websites, and all of the information I glean for pretty much all ham radio activity is nets. I really enjoy getting onto the net and listening and talking and doing all that other stuff. But I pretty much get all of my information from net activity.
You know what? In all the things that I've written down, I didn't even put that as one of the sources. So I'm going to add that to my list. And do you plan just whatever you hear right then, oh, this is coming up, or have you planned anything in advance as a new person getting started?
Well, yes, I have. So I knew the Go Kid Challenge was coming up, and I actually went to the last one, and that's, to be honest with you, other than my father being a huge ham radio guy, I always thought it was a pretty nerdish thing to do. But I went to the Go Kid Challenge, and I saw all of the Go Kids, and to be honest with you, that is what really made me like ham radios, because I saw all the creativity. Everybody did it the same, but just a little different, and it inspired me because it was something I knew I could do. So all of the frequencies and the rules and everything else that's definitely a part of ham radio and all the important stuff. But 12-volt wiring, using a battery and hooking up USBs and tapping in to a radio and stuff like that, to me was fairly simple, and it just used creativity. Break for the repeater. And it was all stuff that I could learn via YouTube. I didn't have to reach out to anybody, so that's really what made me super excited about ham radio, was the Go Kids and POTA and everything else. And I've yet to activate a park, but I've only been doing it in a couple months, and I've only been to a couple of the POTA events, weather permitting and everything else. It's just been bad timing on my part, but that's other than my dad, that's what got me excited about doing all of this. So, but yeah, no, the Go Kid Challenge, that definitely did it for me, and I will be participating. KJ5LXS.
Brandon, I really thought you were going to say you will be winning it instead of I will be participating. So I'm shocked that you just didn't go ahead and throw down the gauntlet and say you were going to win the darn thing. So, you got anything? What have you done this week, Brandon? Just curious, in ham radio.
So I recently purchased the FTX1 Optima, and contrary to most other patterns of everybody that buys a new radio, takes it out of the box and hooks it up and starts playing radio, I decided to leave mine in the box until I was ready to use it. And I have recently taken it out of the box, but I've yet to power it up. I wanted to get my radio box ready first, and I am 95% there. And as soon as I get there's one last piece to my puzzle, and I will plug in my brand new radio, and I will officially start using it as soon as that piece shows up. But I've been messing with that for the last, I'd say, 3 or 4 weeks, and I really want to turn on that new radio. Let me tell you, it's so pretty, and I really want to use it. But this time I'm putting the horse before the cart, not the cart before the horse. So it's unusual for me, but that's the way I've chosen to do it this time.
After that, so Randall said I was overdriving, so he can tell me if I'm better now. So thanks, Brandon. I'm glad you're here, man. And you got anything else for us today?
That's it. I'm just going to sit here and listen and chime in if I get a chance to, but otherwise, thank you for the beautiful weather, and thank you, Bentley, for running the net. You're doing a great job, as always, and thanks to HRO for making all my dreams come true. I gave you a little plug there. KJ5LXS, back to net.
Roger. So, planning, not planning, how do you plan? Where are you playing? Do you plan at all? What sources do you use? We're trying to share information with hams that are participating in this. And what do you plan for? Who's going to be next? Please come now with your call sign phonetically. This is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima, your net control operator for the digitally speaking net.
So India 5 Romeo Sierra Victor Sam and Des.
Sam?
How you doing, Bentley? Been messing with Art Sam's Radio Emergency Data Network, and I am glad to say that we have a BBS fully functional on Art for the ARA.
it's probably just me, but I heard all the words. I didn't understand any of them. And I'm not sure why. Maybe my ears are just getting old and I couldn't do it. But can you tell me that one more time, Sam?
Yes, sir. If you remember BBS in the 90s, it was kind of like the internet before the internet. Well, there's been the group that made the old BBSs back in the day came out with a new one just for retro computers. And I decided to host it over the Arden Amateur Radio Emergency Data Network system. So if you're a ham radio operator with a Arden node and you want to connect up to it, feel free. I'm also working on creating a packet to Arden Bridge so that way you don't have to have perfect line of sight like you usually have to do with these microwave radios. Back to you.
You were better that time, but it still sounds like you're way away from the mic talking. So just so you know. So tell me, Sam, do you plan ham radio events, or do you just kind of...
And also me plugging events kind of helps me think about whether I need to go to them or not. Back to you.
Roger that. Well, thanks for putting together those packet systems where people can pass information through that, and for being here all the time and being a strong supporter of the digitally speaking net. You are appreciated. So, this is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima, your net control operator for the digitally speaking net today. Who's next? Please come down with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Kilo, Golf 5, Romeo, Juliet, Romeo, Scott Denton.
Romeo, Juliet, Romeo. The person who carries on with a couple of others, the digitally speaking net. Hello, Scott, and how are you today?
I'm good, but tired, Bentley. Yesterday was an allergy day for me, and not a good one. To answer your question, sir, I use the digitally speaking website, only because we all put a lot of events in there, and I do actually look at the club, each of the clubs as I go to their meetings. Dakar, I take pictures of the slides that they use, and of course for hamventions or hamcations or whatever they might be, and I'll wait for the repeater for a second. I typically will go hit the ARL website, and we'll kind of plan our strategy around that. And we've gotten to the point where we have to plan our entire month around ham stuff, and then usually 3 to 6 months out now on which the ham locations or hamventions, or whatever you want to call them, ham fests, that we get to go to. KG5RGR.
Roger that. Well, I can tell you, I already had something planned for January of 2027 on my calendar. So, I've gone a little bit further out. And if y'all want to, January 1st of 2027, we will be doing a POTA outing. I'm sure it's going to be at the same place it's been the last several years, but you can put that on your calendar. January 1st, POTA outing for somewhere in the park. for January 1st to bring in the new year. So, Scott, have you done anything else this week in ham radio?
No, yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, I've been playing with an FTX, programming it, and yeah, brought in the ATAS off the truck and played with that a little bit, and now I'm playing on the with Stub J-Bull. But yeah, I've been playing a little radio programming, and yeah, got it set up on a tripod. Why? Because I have far too many tripods, and yeah, there's been a few other things. Maybe some D104s are getting tested today. So yeah, there's quite a bit going on over here radio-wise. KG5RGR.
Sounds like a good time to me. Hey, did you know that the Denton County Lunch Bunch meets every second and fourth Wednesdays at 11 a.m. at Portillo's in Denton? That's at 3330 North Interstate 35. There's so many threes in there, I figured I'd mess that up. In Denton.
I do, and have been there, and they got some good food and good folks and just good community. KG5RGR.
Well, just wanted to make sure you had heard about that, and everybody else is invited as well. Second and fourth Wednesdays, except I thought it was on Thursday, so that's what. No wonder I've never made it. 11 a.m. Portillo's in Denton. Go hang out with the Lunch Bunch. It's a bunch of good guys. Scott, you got anything else for us? I know you'll recheck in a little while because you'll think of something else.
Nailed it on the Go-Kate Challenge. That was the big one, and yeah, we're all geared up for that. I've only got a couple items we've got to take care of, and one that we thought we might have to take care of, now we don't have to. So I do know I think Kelly is trying to recruit a parking czar. Yeah, parking czar. That's the term. Anyhow, I think we're trying to round one of those up for this year because our one from last year is going to be out of town. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I enjoy looking at all these Go-Kits just as much as everybody else does. KG5RGR.
So, now you know, guys, if you want to volunteer for something that'll be fun and easy, you could be the parking czar at the Go-Kit Challenge, and that would give you a good thing to be able to for. All right, Scott, thanks for checking in. Who's going to be next? Trying to give a different perspective for all these ham radio people. Some question that I've never heard talked about on the net, and maybe because it's a stupid question. This is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima asking you, do you plan? How do you plan? Do you have a calendar with all your stuff in it? Do you do it a week at a time, a month? What? And I'm looking for the next person to participate. Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Kilo X-Ray 7, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Your name there, big boy. And are we streaming? You can answer that question, too.
What was the last part of that? By the way, my name is Sean, in case some of you guys didn't know. Call sign KX7WTF. And Bentley, what was the last part of that question?
You're streaming. You said you were going to stream this. Did you decide to do it or not?
We are live on YouTube, having a nice little chat in the background about what you're talking about. If you guys want to follow me over at WTF.Reydio, that's REYDIO. Me, Scott, KG5RJR, and a couple others are in the chat. We're just talking away. Feel free to stop on over, stop in the chat, and chat in the background with us. So, yes, we're also live on TikTok, too, if you guys want to do that instead. I'll have a little chat going on in there as well. So, yeah, that answers your question on that.
So go ahead and answer the question of the day. Do you plan? Do you not plan? How far out do you plan? What sources do you plan for your ham radio activities there, Sean?
Well, with my previous work schedule, planning was a must, and very, very rare that I actually get to plan. But yeah, I'll try to do some planning with the calendar and stuff, plan out my certain days, especially if I'm going to try and put some recordings or make some videos for stuff. Definitely have to plan that out for sure. I try and use the calendar, try and write down notes. I kind of go back and forth between the two and just kind of keep both of them updated for the most part. But that's how I do it. Can't really say much about anybody else, but, you know, and then, you know, also have to schedule in random things of when I'm asked to help people out work on things or different other events we got going on, like Go Get Challenge or club meetings and Ham Fest, stuff like that.
Okay. And any particular sources that you use to come up with your calendar of events that you would like to share in case somebody needs to know?
Of course, you can go to digitallyspeaking.net. Check those out. Check out the ARRL website, like Scott was saying, and YouTube. Go check out different YouTubers. They talk about different events coming up all the time. Those are different ways you can do it. Another way not to it.
Yes, sir. Okay. So what you got for us today? And thanks for live streaming. I hope you get a pretty interesting chat going on. Anything in that chat that we need to know about, jump back in here and tell us, please.
Absolutely. If there's a good question that pops up and they can't get on All-Star for whatever reason, by the way, I do have a video for how to use All-Star on your phone. Yeah, definitely bring it back in and ask the group, for sure. But thanks for running the net today. Bentley, it's always a pleasure hearing your voice, sir. And we'll catch you on the next one. KX7, WTF, back to net.
WTF, thanks for being here. Always good hearing you, Sean. All right, who's going to be next? You know, did I say I have April the 17th. I've already taken a vacation day for that day, and it's going to be busy April the 17th to April the 19th. It's on my calendar. Anybody want to take a stab at what that is, please feel free to do so. And who's next? Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Alpha India 5 Golf Charlie Mobile Dennis.
I didn't catch all that call sign. Give it to me again and tell us what's going on in your ham radio world.
The call is Alpha India 5 Golf Charlie Dennis, as in Dennis the Menace, normally in Salt Lake.
That time, AI5GC. I got the 5GC. I knew that part. I just couldn't remember the first part of it. So, what's going on in your world, and do you plan any ham radio events, and if so, what sources do you use, and how far out do you plan there, Dennis?
Well, I haven't used a calendar for much more than a doctor's appointment, because some of those are 6 months out. Just never really needed to use a calendar. Have been able to keep things in the top of my mind. It depends upon what you're talking about planning on out. I don't typically go to Hamfest because I don't want to spend the money. And typically when I do spend the money, I prefer to do it on new stuff. Just because I don't want to inherit somebody else's problems. But I do most of my HF work from campgrounds. And we typically will plan campground trips, RV trips, 6, 7, 8 months, maybe a year on out. And probably have about 4 of them planned between now and July. And I always take the station with me, always play there. But that's about the end of it for now.
Roger that. Well, you know, I have some of it planned in my head and some of it planned on the calendar. You know, Tuesdays at 7:30, I try to always participate in the net if I'm not fast asleep. And Fridays at 5, I try to hit the Young Hams net. It's in my head. That's just Thursday at, did I say Friday? What's wrong with me? No wonder I miss. I think it's on Fridays. Thursday at 5 o'clock. That's a good net to be a part of. This net, I know, 2 o'clock. Sunday afternoons where I'm going to be. I'm going to be by radio, so I can either host when I'm privileged to have that opportunity or participate in the digitally speaking net. Every day at 5 o'clock, there's a net on All-Star that I try to participate in. It happens 365 days a year. But there are some things that I try to plan because even though I'm retired, I have a job. And so I have to make sure that I plan, you know, my participation in stuff like April the 17th through the 19th. That's a big weekend to me for ham radio, just like the Texas QSO party in September. So, yeah, you know, that's what I was getting at, and just giving people resources to be able to plan from, like the contest calendar schedule that you can find at contestcalendar.com. You know, that gives you a lot of good information, allows you to look at months in advance through the whole year of 2026. So that might be one that you want to check out.
5GC Mobile for ID. So yeah, it would be worth checking it out, but I didn't get licensed until I was age 74. That was 6 years ago. And I'm one that likes to do more talking than contesting. I like a good old rag chew. And so I really don't do much contesting. You can't call POTA a contest, really, unless you're strong into it. But I really don't go looking for points and count and all that sort of stuff. But if I am on the air and I hear somebody else that is contesting, well, I'm always happy to answer back to them so that they can get their count or whatever they're after. But yeah, I'm retired twice. Haven't had a job in 13 years, and I've never been busier. Very often, when 5 o'clock comes, just like when I was working, it seems to me like that's the end of the day. And I just like to plop. But, well, that's my story, and I'm just sticking to it. AI5GC Mobile, back to net control.
In here today, Dennis. You know, there are other things that we plan for. We plan tower work sometimes, take out, help out, antenna help for people, and we have to plan that kind of stuff. Volunteer opportunities like the turkey roll, even if we have to change that sometimes because things come up. But, those things are important and important for the ham radio community to be able to volunteer for. So thanks for participating, Dennis. This is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima, your net control operator for today's digitally speaking net. Who's next? Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Kilo Juliet 5 Lima X-Ray Whiskey Zach in Aubrey.
Zach, Kilo Juliet 5 Lima X-Ray Whiskey. How you doing today? It's good to hear you on the net.
Thanks, sir. It's good to hear you as well.
Tell me, do you do any planning for ham radio? Knowing, what you're going to do, or what's available to do. And by the way, the contestcalendar.com is state QSO parties starts next weekend, actually, February the 7th, with Vermont, Minnesota, and British Columbia. Minnesota's only on the 7th. The other two are on the 7th and 8th. So just throw that in there for you. So you know what that website's for. So, Zach, do you do any planning, or have you done any planning, or what websites do you use to gather information for what's going on in ham radio?
In general, I'm a pretty terrible planner. My life seems to be pretty busy, chaotic day-to-day, work, kids, things like that. I do, however, try to be ready to do things with the radio. By having a mobile unit set up and different handhelds and things like that, around the office and so forth. But in general, no, to be totally honest, I'm a terrible planner when it comes to that stuff.
Roger that. All right, well, that's all right. What have you done this week in your ham radio world, Zach?
We actually built a outside antenna for the house. I don't really have a dedicated base station in the house, so we use handhelds quite a bit. And the way the houses are constructed here, there's a lot of reflection coming back into the house. It's difficult to transmit out. So we were able to kind of cobble together a dipole outside, which is actually what I'm transmitting on now. Seems to be working okay.
Sounds good. I don't see any problems with it coming in over here. Seems to be getting into the repeater just fine. And I appreciate you being here today, Zach. You got anything else for us?
Not really. I do appreciate you hosting the net today, family. And outside that, it's good to kind of hear everyone chiming in, and I will go ahead and go clear. DJ5 LX7.
DJ5 LXY. W. No Y. I don't know what's wrong with me. Appreciate you being here. Who's next? This is the digitally speaking net, and I am your net control operator for today, KC4EL. Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Kilo Juliet 5, November Victor Zulu. My name here is Otto.
Juliet 5, November Victor Zulu. Hello, Otto. How are you doing today?
I'm doing outstanding, sir. How are you today?
am great. Everything seems to be going well. I think the dog wants to get in my lap. Not sure if I can handle that, but things are going well here. So, planning for ham radio things. Do you do any planning there, Otto?
You know, I actually just recently got my technician license. It would have been a couple weeks ago now, so pretty new to it. I'm mostly interested in setups like in vehicles that I can take around places. Don't currently have anything yet, but I am planning on getting a Yaesu 3165 65-watt receiver. That should be pretty fun to mess around with when that gets in. I'd like to build something mobile.
And that 65 watts will get you somewhere. So that's why we're talking about planning in the big picture. Because, you know, planning, getting help set up if you need help to get that put in, who's going to video it so you can put it on your YouTube channel. You know, those things they're important. And as you continue on, those things will become like, you know, I've got to put a plan together to get another antenna put up in my house. And what steps do I have to do? Well, I've got the steps almost all taken care of, and then it's just getting the crew here to help, you know. So, absolutely, putting a new radio in your car, that's really cool. And congratulations on punching your first ticket. That's a big step, man.
Thank you, sir. It definitely is quite interested in, you know, a lot to learn, a lot of mistakes I'll probably be making, but, you know, I'll learn along the way, along with fellow ham radio operators here, and, yeah, so appreciate the support, and I appreciate it a lot. This is Kilo Juliet 5, November Victor Zulu. I'm going clear by Connect.
Glad you're here, man. And anytime you have any questions, you always know you can jump on this net and ask. There's no stupid questions. And there are a multitude of brilliant people that listen to this net, and they have the answers. I would dare say there's not a question that somebody could ask that somebody in our listening audience can't answer. I just know that's the depth of ham radio knowledge that we have, and we're very, very blessed in this area. This is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Lima, your net control operator, and let me just clarify, that's not me, that's others, because I'm not that bright. Who wants to be the next participant? Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
K7 WTF.Reydio with a question that might test that.
Sean.
We have a question coming in from a guy on TikTok, call sign KJ5LXS. His question is, how do shanties work, and why do you have to get them wet before you can dry them with something?
Hey, I don't know why he didn't get on the radio and just ask it himself. I didn't hear all of the questions, Sean. You kind of faded out. I heard what is, and why do you have to get them heard? You want to ask it again?
All right. How do chamois work, and why do you have to get them wet before you can dry something with them? You might be outside of our listening range like that on TikTok.
Maybe I should have been more specific. Ham radio question, but let's find out. I'm going to try it. Does anybody know the answer to Brandon's question, why do you have to get a chamois wet in order for it to work? Please call Net Control now. Nobody knows the answer to that one. I was thinking more ham radio related questions, but I bet you will find the answer and get it back to him. What you want to bet about that? All right. We'll forget about Brandon's question for now and move on. So, this is Kilo Charlie 4, Echo Echo Lima, your net control operator. And 2 plus 2 is 7. Don't you know that? Jiminy Christmas. We learned that in East Texas early. Who wants to be the next person to participate in our wonderful Crazy Net? Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Whiskey, Golf, India, all in.
Heard Whiskey something, Golf, India, and I think you said your name is Paul. Let's try it again, Paul.
Sir, this is Victor Golf, India, Paul, in Hazlet. Tammy has to be wet because there's different board with the drop, so that's Tammy answer.
And I told you somebody would be able to answer your question, so there you go. There's the answer to your question. Thank you, Paul. So do you do any planning for ham radio, Paul, or do you just kind of let it go?
I moved to Texas about 5 years ago from Washington, where I was very active in these radio gigs and the net all the time. As for exercise until last week, where we had the ice home, and I got to get on the last year again and do this radio. So I had to install so I cannot plan 10 to which brings me to my question
Paul, you're not holding the repeater very well. I did hear that you're new to Texas. You just moved here about 5 years ago. We're glad you're here. And you used to be active, and then the rest of it, the frying got you. You weren't holding the repeater. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to get in a better spot, and then you can come back to me. And while we're waiting for Paul to get into a better spot, who's next? This is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima. Do you have a calendar for ham radio activities? Where do you get your information from? What's it look like? How far out in advance or not at all do you plan? Please come now with your call sign phonetically followed by your name.
Hello, India 5 Romeo Sierra X-Ray David.
5 Romeo Sierra X-Ray. What's going on, David? How you doing?
Doing good. We went to the Cowtown Ham Fest, and I picked up another radio that is identical to the one I had in my truck. So we were having some low audio issues with the last radio, and I guess Sam's most recent transmission with the brand new radio also had low audio issues, and there is no audio gain on these ICOM 2300Hs. So just kind of confused there.
After that, yeah, he was having some issues for sure, but you sounding good. So do you plan ham radio activities? Do you not? Where do you get your information from? Tell us how you guys do it, David.
love hanging out around other ham radio operators, just the learning experience and the camaraderie and the good people that you get to meet and hang out with. So we kind of put on our schedule some of the events. We've never actually been able to go Kit Challenge due to camping schedule, but I think we'll be there this year as long as Sam doesn't have an archery shoot. Yeah, if we're not busy and there's a ham radio event, we like to put it on the schedule and make it there just to hang out and play radio and see what other people are doing. KF5RSX back to net.
Roger that. Well, I'll just say for everybody else, all three of you are always welcome anytime we're out. But I will say, on January 1st, when that third call sign came at me, I was like, now, where in the world is that? I don't know. And then I found out shortly thereafter. Thanks for being here, David. Speaking of Hamfest, if you want to fly out to Orlando, February the 13th, 14th, and 15th, Hamcation is happening at the Central Florida Fairgrounds and Expo Center, and I tell you, there'll be some good stuff going on there. And the Greater Houston Hamfest is happening the week after that. You can go see Scott and his beautiful bride, Heidi, and Scott's great smile, and if you come from the DFW area, maybe he'll even do a little jig for you. That starts Friday, February the 20th at noon and runs till 6, and then Saturday morning it's 8 a.m. to 3. It's at the 415 East Rena Street. That ain't right. That's in Hugo. That's not where Rosenberg is. I'm so confused. You can find out information from the website. Find out where it really is, because I promise you it's not in Hugo, Oklahoma. Go to HoustonHamFest.org and find out where they really are located. That's what I get for not looking at stuff before the net starts. And the Greene County Hamfest up in Claremore happens April the 10th and the 11th. Go up there and see Scott. Maybe he'll dance a jig for you there. April 10th and 11th at the Claremore Expo Center, 400 Veterans Parkway in Claremore, Oklahoma. And I've been told that's a really, really good one. And the Belton Hamfest is not good. I don't know what's up with that. So we'll get those all straightened up for when they are. And I haven't talked about fox hunts in a while either. Let me tell you, there's a fox hunting community in this area, and RWK is leading the way. I think the foxes have been tired in Denton County recently, but it won't be too long till they start breaking out of their cages too. And White Rock has some good fox running going on down there. So, man, I'm telling y'all, if you're into fox hunting, go check out one of those clubs, websites.
Path 1, 2, timeout. Path 1, 2, timeout, clear.
Got to time myself out. Simplex nets. Tons of simplex nets in this area. I'm telling you, we're blessed with all the things ham radio that goes on around here. I'm just going to say that. If you want to try simplex on 220, on 223.5, the North Central Texas 1.25 simplex net happens Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Right. I guess I'm back. It said timeout cleared, so I guess it let me back in. Hadn't timed out in a long time. I talked too much. So let me get out of the way, and who's going to be next? Come down with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Juliet, November, Charlie, Mike.
Juliet 5, November, Charlie, Mike. Mike, how are you?
Right, today is actually my first sign on to a net. I'm down here probably about 85 miles from your y'all up there in Denton. But I was getting y'all about 5.5 anyway. Yeah. Are you getting me now?
A little better. You're still in the speeds a little bit, but yeah, getting you a little better now. 85 miles is a long trek. Are you, I was trying to think maybe you were in the A&M area and you're getting us through the A&M University repeater.
Earlier, I thought you were calling for people when I said Glen Road. I'm down here by the top now. Glen Road is about 1,200 feet. So anyway, it's my first contact as far as planning. Now I'm just trying to figure out how this thing works right now.
Hey, coming from Glen Road, I'm very impressed. You are getting in, that's for sure. You know, I was going to tell you, if you do All-Star yet, you may not be there yet, but you can get into the digitally speaking net via All-Star, the notice 41087 here in Denton, and that'll get you in. Congratulations on punching your ticket. That's really awesome. Let me ask you a question. What made you decide to get into ham radio?
Yeah, I'm a truck driver. I'm getting close to retiring, so I need, been driving for almost 40 years, ready to retire, and I just stay on the radio, you know.
Roger that. Staying on the radio is important. And a lot of fun, too, I'll give you that. You know, sometimes I talk too much, as you can see. I timed out the repeater. I hadn't done that in a long time, though, so I'll give myself a little bit of credit. Man, we are glad you checked in. We meet every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. right here on this repeater. We're hooked in with those great guys down at Richardson Wireless Club, and the Texas A&M Club down there has us hooked in with them. And we get participation from those areas quite often during the digitally speaking net. So, Mike, we're glad you're here, man.
Yeah, I'll try to look into that All-Star. I kind of was playing with it, but I wasn't able to connect, so I got to do a little more reading up on that.
Roger. Well, we're going to move on, Mike, but you come back and see us next week. Looking forward to it. Again, congratulations on punching your ticket. That's a really cool first step. And don't worry, there is a lot to learn, but you know what? We're here to learn together. And we also, no matter how long you've been doing it, there's always something new to learn. That's the coolest part. Keeps our brains active. And I think that leads to longevity for a lot of us. All right, Mike, anything else? We're glad you're here, man. That's really cool. This is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima, your net control operator for today's digitally speaking net. Is there anybody else that would like to check in to today's net? Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Kilo Juliet 5, Fox back.
Tell y'all what, that was almost the perfect double. Not quite, because I think it was Darren. I heard his name, but the rest of it, that was a perfect double. If that really was Darren, come back with your call sign and let's get you. Must not have been Darren. All right. I think it was Kilo Juliet 5 something. Now watch, both of you going to be Kilo Juliet 5s too. Kilo Juliet 5, come back and let's try to get you. Y'all were both Kilo Juliet 5s, but I heard the Quebec at the end of Joe, so I'm going to go with Joe first. Joe, give me the rest of your suffix, 5 something Quebec.
Kilo Juliet 5 Foxtrot Sierra Quebec.
Sierra Quebec. Okay. So, welcome. We're glad you're here, Joe. What's going on in your ham radio world today?
Kind of getting back into it. I got my tech license about 2 years ago, and then life got in the way, so I'm retired now, so trying to open this up some more.
Roger that. We're glad you're here, and we're glad you're back. There's always room for more folks in. I'm telling you, people worried about our hobby, and our hobby is continuing to grow and get stronger. And it's because of all the people, I think in this area especially, all the people are so helpful and so knowledgeable. Man, what made you decide that you were going to get back into it?
Happened to turn the radio on one day and started listening in. I've just got a little bow fang, so looking to get something more permanent and start building the shack.
Cool, Joe. We appreciate you being here. All right, so I'm going to ask you the question of the day, and if you ain't got any answer to it, that's okay. But you may have. Have you done any ham radio planning? What source did you use to plan, or what would you like to know about to be able to plan for in this wonderful hobby?
Well, I'm planning on going to Houston in a couple of weeks, and then also making plans to go up to Dayton and look around up there and see about trying to get some information on equipment and there.
Roger that. Well, Houston is a great little place to go. And there's some good folks down there hanging out, answering questions, talking. So, it'll be fun seeing you down there, Joe. Well, you had somebody that came in. Oh, before I do that, you got anything else for us today, Joe?
That's it for me. Back to net.
Sir, there was another KJ5 station that came in with Joe. If you're still around, come back and check in, please, with your call sign phonetically followed by your name.
King James 5, I love ham. Peter, Frisco, Texas.
Peter, how you doing this afternoon?
Bentley, I'm doing just fine. I heard you out there holding court, and I figured I better at least check in for you today. Things are 51 degrees and sunny out here, and there's somebody that I drove past that's having a parade down 121, and I guess they're trying to flex their political muscles.
Well, you know, it takes all kinds, so. And what a great place we live that people have that ability to do that. So, do you plan things in ham radio, Peter, or do you just kind of go by whatever's going on? And how do you get information about what's going on in ham radio world for you?
Well, I watch a couple of YouTube channels from time to time, and let's see, joined a couple of two clubs and the ARRL, and so kind of keep in touch that way. Show up at the club meetings when I can, which is most of the time. And I am planning on getting into HF at some point down the line. Originally, I was going to go ahead and move to some place that would let me put up whatever I wanted to, but in the meantime, while I'm still at the HOA, it'll be a little problematic, but yeah, well, you know, it is what it is.
Roger that. It is what it is. Well, I've been lucky or blessed that the HOA hadn't said anything yet about the antennas I have hanging around my house. I tried to hide them and get them out of the way so they're not real obvious. Maybe that's helped. But I've been very blessed. Peter, I'm glad you're here, man. It's good to hear you. And I hope you're traveling safely around this wonderful road we call 380. Got anything else for us today, man?
No, I think that's about it. You have a good afternoon there, Mr. Bentley, and all the rest of the gang that are gathered around the fire are listening to all of us trying to sound important. Maybe one of these days say something that's just so incredibly intelligent that I'll be remembered. On that note, 73 to y'all, and Kilo Juliet 5, India Lima Hotel, clear.
I love ham. What a great call sign. Kilo Juliet 5, I love ham. I'm telling you. Hey guys, if you want more information or if you want to find out some good stuff about digitally speaking, or you want to look at the Diner's Guide, or if you have some kind of information that you want to share with us, go to the Digitally Speaking website for our news and information. It's www.digital-lee-speaking.net. J-Mac told us to say hyphen. www.digital-lee-speaking.net. Or if you want to share information with us that you want to have put on the website, email digitallyspeaking@gmail.com and they will share that information. If you have photos from when you've done POTA or SOTA or just hung out somewhere doing ham radio, send them a photo, man. And there's some pretty funny photos on there also that you can check out. This is the Digital Lee Speaking Net, and I am KC4EL, your blessed net control operator for today. Anybody else want to check in today? Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name. If you're interested in hosting the Digitally Speaking Net, it's real easy to do. Even I can do it. On some Sunday afternoon, even if it is your first time or you only want to do it for a short period of time just to get your feet wet, man, reach out to us because we want you to be able to host your first net. And digitally speaking is a great place to do it. We'll take care of all the stuff behind the scenes. Email digitally speaking, all put together, at gmail.com, and somebody will get back to you and get it all set up. Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima. Is there anybody else that would like to participate in today's Digitally Speaking Net? This is the last call. If nobody else comes back, please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Kilo 6, November Alpha, Albert, Texas.
Kilo Golf 6, Albert. What's the rest of it?
Yankee November Alpha.
6, Yankee November Alpha. How you doing today, Albert? Good to hear from you.
Doing just fine. Staying inside, staying warm, and enjoying the net. Thank you for hosting it. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir, for the kind words. So how do you get your information? Or do you plan in advance? Do you not plan at all for your ham radio adventuring?
No plans whatsoever. I just fly by the seat of my pants. I miss out on fun events, and sometimes I catch events, but the only thing I try to get to every month is the monthly club meeting.
And they always sharing good information at the monthly club meeting, too. Hanging out with those guys at the club. There's a bunch of smart guys. You know, who makes me feel even more less smart than ever. Yeah, that wording was chosen. Man, I'm glad you're here, Albert. What's going on in your ham radio world this week?
Absolutely nothing but talking with you and checking into the net. My ham radio life kind of taking a backseat to learning a new skill. I'm trying to learn guitar, so I spend very little time on the radio. I'm doing some HF stuff, but not being successful with it, so I decided to let it sit aside for a while.
That's where I'm headed when we get done, after I take a little break for a few minutes. Gotta love some HF, man. All right, well, thanks for checking in. We appreciate you being here and look forward to hearing you next week. Anybody else? Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Whiskey 7 Victor Golf India Paul in Split.
Whiskey 7 Whiskey Golf India Paul, and I didn't hear where you were. You broke up at that point. How you doing today, Paul?
Doing well. Sounds like I'm going to have to work on my antennas a bit better.
That one was a little bit better. You're getting in okay, just a little bit weak, so getting that antenna up a little bit more would help you, or a little bit more power would help you. Where did you say you were located, Paul?
I'm located in Split.
That's a pretty good little trip. We're glad you're checking in with us. So, do you plan your ham radio activities, or where do you get your information for what you want to do in ham radio, Paul?
Events like last week's Snowball. It gets me to remind me to get my gear out and relearn it and practice.
That's a good source. We appreciate that. Got anything else for us today? What did you do in your ham radio world this week?
I installed an antenna in my attic, which is working great. At least I'm in the research now.
Picked a good week to install an antenna in your attic. Yeah, buddy. Much better doing it this week than doing it in June. That's for darn sure. Working for you, man, so that's good, too.
Let us know, when is this Go Kid Challenge coming up, and where is it?
Man, now that's the question. That's a good question. The Go Kid Challenge is where people bring Go Kits that they have made. A Go Kit is a setup that you have a radio in, and you can take it out and set it up and get on the air for emergency communications or POTA or just going out and having fun, and it's portable. So that's what a Go Kit is. And the 8th annual Go Kit Challenge for 2026 is Saturday, March 21st. And it's going to be at Doubletree Ranch Park. That's at 310 Highland Village Road in Highland Village.
Be that Saturday, March 21st at 310 Highland Village Road in Highland, Texas.
Highland Village, Texas. Highland Village. There are 3 categories if you want to build a Go Kit. The HF People's Choice Award, the mobile category, and the 50 and over category, which is not your age, unfortunately. But, you know, techs can work on 50, so they want them to be able to participate and have fun, too. So we're giving them a challenge for the 50 and over club.
Hey, that sounds like fun. I will likely come and check that out.
It is great fun. I'm just going to tell you. And, oh, that's a good-looking little Go Kit right there. Somebody just texted me a picture of a Go Kit. I think it was Scott. Well, Paul, you got anything else for us today?
Well, that's all for me. I'm glad I was able to reach the repeater.
Glad you were here. I'm glad you could reach the repeater as well. All right. I'm going to say it one more time. Is there anybody else that would like to check in to the Digitally Speaking Net today? Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
Juliet 5, Lima X-Ray Sierra, Brandon.
Joed.
Brandon, hang on. Bravo Tango Alpha, I think it was 5 Bravo Tango Alpha. You were right there with Brandon. Come back with your full call one more time and your name.
Kilo Juliet 5, November Tango Alpha, and my name is Joed.
Ed, I did copy Kilo Juliet 5 November Tango Alpha. How are you doing today?
Doing well, sir. Thank you for hosting the net. I'm fairly new to ham radio. Actually just got my license last month. Installing new antenna this weekend. So hopefully I'm making it okay to the repeater, and thank you for having us.
You sound great coming into the repeater, man. I don't know where you're located, but wherever you're coming into, you sounding really good. So, congratulations on punching your ticket and getting into this marvelous, marvelous hobby. There's a lot of good people and a lot of smart people that are here, so if we can help you in any way, you know you can jump on here and ask questions, and somebody around is going to be able to answer for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I joined the Richardson Club, and they've been really nice, and it's been a great experience so far. I'm glad you hear me well on the repeater. Worth the hole I made in the ceiling while walking in the attic and trying to run some cable. So appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll turn it back to you, man.
Glad you joined us, Joab. We meet every Sunday at 2 p.m. and go until people get tired, and then sometimes it continues on even after we're done. Yeah, those guys at RWK, they're a smart group. They're an active group, which is even better. So, yeah, don't be worried about asking questions, man. We'll help you all we can. And I know I speak for them, too, when I say it. I know that's a true statement. All right, Brandon, what's your recheck?
Did we ever get the answer to my question? How does the chamois work? And why do you have to get it wet before you can dry something with it? KJ5LXS.
We got an answer to that. I see you weren't here when it happened. And was it Paul that gave us that answer? W7GI, you still around? Was that you to answer that question of why a chamois works and why you had to get it wet first? I think it was Paul.
India was Paul in it. A true chamois is the board. The wet board.
It's better. Do I need to translate for you, Brandon?
Translate, that was awfully choppy.
When you get POTA ears, you can pick up stuff like that. He said a true chamois is totally stiff, so it can't work. So in order to make it work, since it's totally stiff, you have to wet it first.
I get that, but I get that you have to wet it. But how does it have to be wet before it can dry something?
Stiff to begin with. You have to make it unstiff for it to be able to dry. That's the answer. Man, there's a bunch of smart people, even more than just ham radio in our audience. Thanks for your question, Brandon. I appreciate it. Is there anybody else that would like to check in today? Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name. That one I couldn't pull out. Whoever that was, up your power or move outside or move around or something. Try one more time. Let's see if we can get you. Okay, we're going to give you a minute to see if you can get to a better location. Is there anybody else that would like to try to check in while our other person that's wanting to check in gets into a better spot? Please come now with your call sign phonetically followed by your name. This is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima. Blessed to be your net control operator for today's Digitally Speaking Net. Uniform 5 or Kilo Juliet 5 Delta Uniform something. You were overmodulating so much, I couldn't make out anything that you said. Try it again.
The 5, Victor goes blue.
I got every other word, or every other letter. We're going to try it one more time. You weren't overmodulated so much that time, you were just cutting out. Try it one more time.
All right, third time is a charm. This is Kilo 5, Victor Tango Zulu. Name here is Philip.
Philip, it was better the third time. It was much clearer. You cut out just a couple of times with a little off, but I think that's all right. So what's going on in your ham radio world today, Philip, or this week?
Well, John, I just to hello. First, thank you for doing this. And, talking to you on a handheld yet here. I have just gotten into SDR dongle with my laptop. I'm kind of and look forward to explaining that over the next few weeks.
All right, so you cut out a little bit that time. You just got into something with a dongle on your computer and looking for something the next few weeks. Fill in the holes for us.
Sorry if I'm here. It's the art SDR dongle, and I just got into that. I'm very look forward to playing with that over the next few weeks on my time off.
Okay. Yep. Roger that. I hope you have good luck with that during your time off in the next few weeks. Where are you coming in from, Philip?
I'm in Brooklyn, too far from the university here.
Cut out too much for me there. I heard university, but I'm not sure if that is that A&M or UNT?
University, A&M.
I got you down in A&M. We're glad you're here, man. Thanks for checking in with us. We appreciate that. I hope you have a good week of studies. And we're here every Sunday. 2 p.m. is when we start, and you're always welcome to check in. So thanks for being here, Philip. Anybody else want to check in to the Digitally Speaking Net? This is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima, your Digitally Speaking Net control operator for today. Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
N5YAI. It's John on this end, November 5, Yankee Alpha India. Hello, Bentley.
Man, I thought, did I turn my radio off to Texas Nexus? What's going on, John? Man, I really did. I thought, I turned my Nexus radio down. How am I hearing John? What's going on with you, John? Today's topic, if you've heard, is planning for events in ham radio. Do you do any planning, or do you just fly by the seat of your pants and go as the wind blows? Or tell us about your experience with that, John.
Yeah, no, I'm planning on attending the Irving Ham Fest on March 7th. I guess you could call that's an event. It's an amateur radio trade day, sort of like a gun show, but, just trading radios and that kind of stuff, old QST magazines and that kind of, stuff. But, I do plan some. Yeah, and I didn't make it to Hugo for the Ham Fest yesterday. I had all the plans changed about midweek, so couldn't make that one. I did talk to a fellow that won one of the main door prizes yesterday. I talked to AG5WO, I believe, Thomas. He's in Lamar County. I believe it was Alpha Golf 5 Whiskey Foxtrot. Whiskey Oscar. Good Lord. Talked to him today. He won, I believe, one of their main prizes, which was, I believe, a Yazoo 310. So he was talking on it today on the Paris repeater, doing a real good job. So anyway, but no, everything in my ham shack's good. I have been on the Nexus listening today. There is a big problem right now with the AE5WW reflector. That's a bridge that bridges folks over through a hot spot or open spot, you'll call it, into the Texas Nexus WiresX platform, the Texas Nexus room. And a lot of folks are not able to hear that are on that application. They're transmitting. There's somebody throwing a call out right now. Anyway, but they're not able to hear there. And the way I understand, the gentleman that operates the 85WW bridge is aware of it and is working on it. So there was a lot of discussion on that about 2 hours ago over on the Nexus. So anyway, other than that, man, it's a beautiful day, 52 degrees, and I'm here on the outskirts of Texas Motor Speedway. And, these wheels are rolling, so I'm headed east for a little bit. But, man, good to hear you in there, Bentley. I always enjoy hearing you when you facilitate this net. N5YA.
John, absolutely. A ham fest is a ham activity that we have to plan for, that's for sure. And I know you plan because you travel too much not to. Man, it's good to hear you on the net, John. And I'm sure I will talk to you at some point in time in the next day or two. Thanks for being here and thanks for checking in. As we're rolling towards the end of this digitally speaking net, is there anybody else that would like to check in today? Please come now with your call sign phonetically followed by your name.
5 LXS, recheck.
Brandon, what's your recheck?
Random announcement. The ham radio clock. I believe most people are familiar with that. Is that correct? I heard the gentleman that created the ham radio clock passed away, and so they're not going to be updating that software or something like that. Did anybody else hear that? KJ5 LXS.
Are correct. And what a loss that is. But you know what? They have other people that are stepping in to fill that void. And if you look up ham radio clock, you can find still other. They have a new person that's picked up at least some of that, and you can find information on the web about it. And so, there you go. Thanks, Brandon, for letting us know that. And we're sorry that he has gone silent key, and he did some great stuff for ham radio, that is for sure.
I heard it at breakfast, and I felt obligated to bring that up. So, sorry to hear that he's gone, and I didn't know anything about the ham clock, but I know a lot of people use it. I know my dad has one. So, anyways, KJ5 LXS. Back to net.
Thanks, Brandon. There's a lot of us that have it, that's for sure. And I am quite sure he will be missed. All right. Anybody else like to check in to the digitally speaking net? Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima. Last call, last call.
Kilo Golf 5 Uniform Foxtrot Romeo. Jacob Mobile and Farmers Branch.
you are doing a good job in Farmers Branch. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for picking me up. It's been a long time since I'm able to check in, so I'm actually awake and mobile, so I thought I'd check in. Things are well here. Not a lot going on here. Did a little HF this morning. Not much. Bands weren't awesome, but they're okay. And I'm running a couple errands for work.
Roger that. So the question of today is, do you plan activities in your ham radio life? Do you do that in advance? Do you do it far in advance? What sources do you gather information from there, Jacob?
Right on, cool question. Yes, I do make plans. Sometimes I do those things spontaneously and whatnot, but I do try to plan for bigger things and also for POTA. My son and I go camping once a month, and that's the plan. No pun intended, but that's the plan. And so I usually get the state parks organized sometimes 2 or 3 months out, just so I know we have a spot when we get there. And we alternate between tent camping and then picking a park every so often that has a cabin in it. So we're looking forward to February, and I'm trying to decide where we're going to go for February. Probably Kleberg, but yeah, let's try to plan ahead and let's do one POTA a month.
Okay, that's awesome. One POTA a month. That's a good thing. I'd like to be able to get out at least once a month, and in the wintertime, I'm not too good at that. When spring rolls around, it gets better. Well, you got anything else for us today, Jacob? I'm glad you were able to get in today. It's good to have you back with us.
Well, glad to be back and glad to be heard. And no, I'm nothing else here. Just like I said, running some errands and wanted to wave a hand and check in and say howdy. So thanks for picking me up and back to net control. KSU5, U of R.
U of R. Look forward to hearing you more often, man. They're working you too hard. KC4EL, blessed to be the net control operator for the digitally speaking net today. Anybody else like to check in? Man, I tell you, this is the most check-ins I've had on digitally speaking in a long time. Please come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
This is Alpha Foxtrot 5, Romeo Sierra, Bob in Highland Village.
Hello, Bob. We were talking about Highland Village just a few minutes ago and looking forward to the Go Kid Challenge in March. What's going on over there today?
Bill falling out a little bit, but much better today. So just wanted to check in. Don't have much. Haven't done much on the radio. Been busy getting ready for a vacation.
Everybody wants to know, where are you going?
We're cruising to Hawaii.
And that is so much fun. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever cruise it again, but that was a great cruise. I'm just going to step out there and say that. I'm jealous. So what's been going on in your ham radio world this week?
I'm still slowly putting my shack back together, but I'm back on HF and doing a little experimentation on 23 centimeter. That's kind of fun.
Be fun. What antenna are you using to do a little experimentation on 23 centimeters?
I got two. Ironically, the CX333 tri-band will load up pretty well on 23, but I've got a M squared, I think it's 24 element Yagi. It's about 6 foot long. And it's got a lot of gain. It's got like 16 dB gain.
That was really cool. So, have you made many contacts?
A couple. Just simplex. Haven't really found any repeaters to talk to.
That. Man, that's cool. I have not made a contact on 23 centimeters, but this week I did make my first contact on AM. That was really cool for me.
That's really cool. I was just curious. It wasn't on the Collins Radio AM net, was it?
I wish it was. That would have been really cool. No, it was a Sunday morning. There's a group of them that jump on. I think it was Sunday morning. They hang out like from 5 till 7 or something like that. But it was fun. That's my first AM. I'll try it again one day. I need a little more power, but I at least got in. So, man, we're glad you checked in with us today, Bob. You got anything else for us today?
Right now, Medley, take care. AF5RS will be clear and back to net. Take care. Bye.
Look forward to hearing you again. This is Kilo Charlie 4 Echo Echo Lima, your blessed net control operator for the digitally speaking net. And man, this is fun. Anybody else want to check in? Come now with your call sign phonetically, followed by your name.
K5LXS.
We ain't talking about no dancing girls. You're out of luck. Anybody else like to check in to the digitally speaking net? Please come now. And let me tell y'all, it's been great fun, and we try to have a good time doing this net. One more time, I want to remind you, if you want to host this net, we'll take care of all the behind-the-scenes stuff for you. You don't have to worry about that. All you got, and we'll even give you a script to go with. And you can use it. You can just read it if you want to. That's how I first started. I read most of it. Now, well, not so much. So if you would like to, email us, digitallyspeaking@gmail.com. Digitally speaking is just all together. And check out our website, digital-speaking.com, and you can find all kinds of fun information there. This is Kilo Charlie Echo Echo Lima closing the digitally speaking net at 3:45 p.m. and returning the W5NGU repeater to normal amateur use. You guys have a great afternoon and a great evening, and we look forward to, .net, not .com, I'm sorry, digitallyspeaking.net. We look forward to seeing y'all next time. KC4EEL.